Okay, you can go introduce yourself, okay?
Okay, Rick Smith. I'm the head boys basketball coach at Four Winds High School in Fort Totten, North Dakota. I'm on my 31st year of coaching in high school at Four Winds. 29 of them have been as the head coach. Um, I've taught here for close to 40 years. I think we're on year 37, I believe. Um, I'm born and raised here on the Spirit Lake Reservation, just 12 miles east of our school. Went to high school in Warwick, North Dakota. Um, Went on to graduate from the University of North Dakota in 1988 and came here and never left. So, that's a gist of my story, very short of my story, but I grew up on a ranch in Wood Lake, North Dakota. Eight siblings, three sisters, five brothers. Um, all the brothers live about a mile radius of the home place. I still live on the home place, and the girls have moved away to Phoenix, Bismarck, and Rapid City. So, big family, tight family. Um, but other than that, I don't know. That's kind of a little spiel to my story, Ryan.
Okay, I'll ask some questions that I have, okay?
Sure.
What is your favorite sport?
My favorite sport has always been basketball. I probably like watching football better than basketball because the sports have changed so much over the years, and um, so I enjoy watching football. I never played, but I really, really enjoy it watching it. But my first love has always been basketball, and I do watch baseball, but basketball's always been, if I had to pick them, basketball is my my favorite for sure.
You played basketball?
Do I what?
Did you played basketball?
I played high school at Warwick. Yeah, I never played college. There's not a lot of room for 5'5" guards in the college system nowadays, and never has been. So, but I played high school and played a ton of independent Native American circuit. So we did that a lot when I got out of high school. So
Yeah, because Steph Curry, the guy I like, he's not a very tall guard player.
yeah. Mhm.
Who is your favorite athlete?
Uh, well, in basketball, when I was young, it was always Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I was a Bucks fan. And when he got traded, I became a Lakers fan. Did not like Magic Johnson in college, but when he got to the Lakers, Magic was probably my favorite, and probably still is today because he changed the game so much, and I just loved the way he played and loved the way loved the way they played the game uh, back then. And I've always tried to get our teams to play a similar style of that, trying to get up and down as fast as we can and create havoc on both sides of the basketball. But Magic Johnson stands out as my favorite NBA player. There's some that come behind him, but he's by far my favorite. As far as baseball, I'd have to choose between probably two, Rod Carew and Kirby Puckett for the Twins. Just love the way they played the game. And as far as football, I have multiple Vikings that I really, really watched. Randy Moss is probably one of my favorites. So
Who are your favorite pro and college sports teams?
pro teams, similar to yours, the Twins and the Vikings, the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm not a big hockey buff, so I have to stay out of that one. As far as college, I was always as far as basketball, I was always a big UCLA fan, as they were in the John Wooden days. It's still UCLA is pretty close to my heart. I do like watching Duke and North Carolina. I don't know which one to cheer for sometimes, but I really like their. I got a chance to listen to their coaches a few times, so it's always kind of nice to put that to a program. And then the Yukon women are always a lot of fun to watch also in the college game. Uh, as far as college football, I don't really watch a lot of college football. Probably closer to home. UND, of course, is my alma mater, so I cheer for them. If they're not in it, then I stay in the North Dakota. I cheer for NDSU if they're in the championship, and if they're not, then if UND's there, then I'll cheer for them. If they're playing against each other, then I gotta cheer for UND. Yeah.
What do you think of the how the Vikings are doing?
Um, the Vikings are they were trying to I think they're kind of a mess right now offensively. I think their defense is playing about 85% of the game, which is hard to do. I think the young quarterback is a lot of people are getting frustrated with him. I know he's only played 6 games, and they wanted to have a successful year after last year, getting close, and a lot of people are putting the blame on coaching staffs and stuff like that. But when you battle injuries and a young quarterback who's trying probably with a lot of pressure on him to try and do his best, and he's just struggling right now. But when you put rookie quarterbacks in there, you don't know what you're going to get, and so right now they're struggling with it. Will he come out of it? Maybe. But he needs to stay healthy and he needs to stay on the field.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's only his first like full season, so by
Mm.
next year he could be better, is what
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
I kind of think. The games, NFL games go so fast because I went to one and it's like, holy crap, they go fast. Have you ever been to NFL games?
Oh yeah, I've been to
They're,
several. Yeah.
they go really fast.
Yeah.
I went when the Vikings, I think they played the Eagles.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately they lost, but it was still fun though.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't really like the Eagles. They're one of
Yeah. The atmosphere is always a lot of fun. Yeah.
nice stadium too. What do you think? So you coach basketball. What do you think your team's biggest strengths and weaknesses will be this basketball season?
Well, I think our biggest strengths is we do have a lot of lettermen coming back that have a lot of game experience. We have some our leading scorers coming back and our leading rebounders coming back and you know uh, we have some good young players that are waiting their turn to get in there, and so I think that we have that going for us. Weaknesses. As far as more strengths, we got multiple kids that can put the ball in the hole, for us. So it's that's always nice to have. Weaknesses, we just need to continue to gel. I thought last year we didn't. I thought we were very, very inconsistent. There's nights that we could beat anybody in the state, and there's nights that we could lose to anybody in the state A, and there were times that we did, and we just were an inconsistent team last year, and like it was, we couldn't quite get to that consistent level where we could put 5, 6, 7 good games together, and it seems like there was times where we fell asleep in some games, and it really cost us. And so we're going to try and stay consistent this year, and try and gel better as teammates and because I believe we have all the tools to be a really, really good team and gelling and staying consistent on both ends of the floor is key for us. And we're going to have to continue to do that and get better at that.
What would you say a favorite shot to shoot is for in basketball?
Well, I mean, your favorite shot. I mean, everybody loves the 3-point shot, and um, I am I like the mid-range area, the attacking the rim area. But with 3-point shot, a lot of teams live and die by it. When you can shoot it on a consistent basis, you can win a lot of games. And if you're inconsistent at that 3-point shot, then it's gonna result in a lot of long rebounds and fast breaks for other teams. So I like to stay on attack in the rim and get to the mid range and get to the foul line as much as possible. But again, the game has changed so much that from the NBA all the way down. I mean, 3-point shot is the shot, and um, I guess data shows that it's a better percentage, but I'm just not bought into that yet. So I don't know if I ever will, but um, it's great when it's going in. It really is. It's great when it's going in, but when it's not going in, then things can happen the other way for you.
Free throws consistency there is pretty key though too.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of kids, when they come to the gym by themselves or work on their game, it's never at the free throw line. It's never at the free throw line. And as much as you can preach to them and
Yeah.
talk to them how important it is that we've won some crucial games on the free throw line and we've lost, state championship on the free throw line. So, free throws are huge and a lot of people don't think they are because number one, they're boring to practice and it's boring for them, but they don't quite realize how important it is, and it's very, very important.
Yeah. 'Cause you never can know if when you're gonna need them or what reps you'll have. It's just a
Mhm.
whole element. What are your team goals for this basketball season?
Well, team goal number one is just to, play every game hard, get better every game, improve every game. You know, Goal number two is to get to that regional tournament healthy, playing well. Goal number three is to get through that regional tournament and be one of the two or three teams from your region to get to the state tournament. Goal number four is to get to the state tournament and if you get there, play well because anything can happen at a state tournament. As long as you're playing well at that time, uh, you can beat anybody in the state. And then so our goals are short-term goals, but they're goals that add up to a long-term goal at the end. So, we need to start small and work our way up. But right now, we're getting ready for Monday and start working our butts off on Monday.
What major or memorable games did you play or coach in that you have?
Well, I mean, there's several memorable games. Our memorable games of course, is the most memorable games are the state tournament, two state tournament titles that we have, and one over our Redeemers and one over Kindred, who the second one was an undefeated season. In the second one, I don't think anybody in that Minot State Dome thought we were going to beat Kindred that night, and we got the job done. And you know, so those are the most memorable wins. Most memorable loss, of course, was the last second buzzer beater in the state championship game that we lost to Hillsborough. That was a crushing defeat that could have given us back-to-back titles in 2017, and we played well enough to win. We didn't do a few little things to finish that game off, and when you don't finish off good teams, they could come back to bite you, and that's exactly what happened. And it was a crushing defeat. It was one that'll stay with me for a long, long time. But again, uh, that's you learn by that, and hopefully doesn't happen again. But the two memorable ones, of course, the good ones are the two state tournament title wins we had.
Okay, this one's kind of a trick question or whatnot. But what side do you think is more important, offense or defense in basketball?
I'm a defensive guy, probably because that's who I was when I played. Um, I just think that's so crucial um, that if you can take the opponent's strength away, you can stay in most games, even if your offense is not clicking that night. Um, if your offense is not clicking and you're not playing any defense, then you're looking at a long night. But if you can play strong, solid defense, and you could get a lot of you can get a lot of easy baskets offensively through that way. Um, and that's the way I've always preached. Have we always played that way? For the most part, we have. It's been last year was a little struggle. I thought we didn't play like that all the time, and um, but that's the way I'm going to preach every year that I come into a season is I'm going to preach that, and the majority of our drills are around that, and you got to get kids to buy into that, which is tough, because they think the other way around. So you got to get their mind reversed a little bit, and because, like I said, if your offense is not clicking on a certain night and you play extremely good defense, they'll keep you in ball games.
What made you get into being a coach?
I've always been a sports type guy. I've loved sports ever since I was little. I love to play sports, and I didn't get to play a lot of different sports. I got to play basketball. That was about the only thing we got to play growing up on the ranch, and the other times were for working on a ranch. It wasn't time for sports, and that's the way my family grew up. But basketball, they did let us play. So I really, really enjoyed uh, basketball as I was growing up, and that's basically about the only sport that I got to play. As I got into college, I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I got into college. It took a few years to figure it out, and I had some help for some people that were in education and that thought that I would probably be a good route for me to take. I had some people help me in that route, and that's the route I took. And then I had a guy that worked at Four Winds that said, you're going to be graduating next year, and I'm going to be the head coach. Why don't you come and be my assistant? And I said, yeah, let's try it. I don't have a job yet. And so I did my student teaching at Four Winds, and I was an assistant coach at the same time in 1988. And it just seemed to go from there. And there were years that I took off and went down and coached. Didn't coach in the high school system. Went down and coached them in the elementary systems, and then got back into high school, and then took some breaks in between. But the last few years, the last several years that I've been in high school, I've really, really enjoyed it. And um, our program has been successful, and the people I work with has been great. our program revolves around a lot of different people involved, and I couldn't do it without them. But it's been a fun run for us. It's been a lot of fun, and I've enjoyed it. And when I'm done, I can look back and say that, I put a lot of time, blood, sweat, and tears into this, and that's what you do in any job. So you know, so that's kind of how I got started in the coaching.
What hobbies or interests do you have besides coaching?
Besides coaching, I just started to golf a little bit. I'm not very good, but I love to be out there in the outdoors with my friends, and I used to play a ton of softball when I was younger. Got out of college or got out of high school, played a ton of softball. Um, uh, um, but other than that, as far as sports, those are the three main sports I did. And as you get older, of course, you can't do the things that you used to want to do, and age creeps in and weight creeps in, and I love to golf, and I love to be around my place and work around my place and do things, and it's pretty laid back hobbies that I have nowadays, but I like to travel. My girlfriend and I travel as much as we possibly can, and so I like to see things and different things that I've never seen before, and my bucket list is not even a quarter full. So maybe when I'm done coaching, I can start filling it up a little bit.
What are your thoughts on the three class basketball?
Three class basketball, I think like anybody, change was difficult. I think change was difficult for a lot of people. There was some people that were not happy. There was people that were happy, and I think it's still that way. I think they're trying to iron out some wrinkles, and um, they're trying to get it figured out. Have they got it figured out yet? I don't know. Uh, there's some things they can continue to work on. I think so, and I don't know what they would be. I got a few things that probably need to be changed, but we're only going to be in our third year, and so a lot of people like it, and there's some people that still struggle with it. But that's change. Change is like that. It's tough to get used to change, and I think as we keep going on, keep going on, keep going on, I think people are going to say, okay, this is going to be here for good, and let's just live with it and see if we can iron out the few wrinkles that they have, and move on and play basketball. But it's been a learning experience for a lot of people.
I kind of watch a lot, so I mean, I kind of like it, but I like the state qualifier games that they have, like, because it makes games a little more important. That's what I would think, kind of.
Yeah, it makes the regional third place game important. It makes, the championship game important because if you win the regional championship, you're in. And if you don't, you might not get in. Even if you take second in the region, that doesn't mean you're getting in. And we've been in a spot where we haven't got in at all, where I thought we had a tremendous team, and we were one of the teams to beat Devils Lake that year when they won their first title and the first title in Class A, and last year we were one game away from getting in there, and so we're getting closer. We haven't been to a state A tournament yet, so hopefully this year we can get in there.
Oh, you guys played in one of the state qualifiers?
Last year we did. We lost to Wahpeton in the state qualifier. Yeah. Mhm.
So in your region, who do you, Devil's Lake is pretty good though, usually, but who else? And you guys, I was just kind of looking at the hoopster because I look at it quite a bit for basketball.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think that Devil's Lake's going to be down, and they have lost some really good basketball players over the last couple of years, you know. And when you lose some really good basketball players, it doesn't mean you're not going to be any good. It just means that you have to adjust and you know, you got 21 games to get your team the way you think they're going to play. And the thing about Devil's Lake is they got tremendous guard play in Mason Palmer and Max Palmer. They're just tremendous, tremendous guards. And when you have good guards, you can win a lot of basketball games. And people that watch the game or people that understand the game will know that guard play is crucial. And so they're going to be, you know, they're going to be probably the our region favorite again. Grafton has got the two big 6'7" uh, shooters on their team. They're mismatched nightmares because they can handle the ball and they shoot the three from extremely deep. So they're tough to match up with. So you need a guy that or a couple guys that can match up with them and hopefully they you know you can contain the other three guys that are on the floor. But these two guys are a pain in the butt, Rice and Lilimon, and they're tough matchups and when you're a 6'7" guard that can shoot from 25 feet, um, uh, it's it can be a struggle. So Thompson lost a lot of players. They lost a lot of players. I think they had five seniors that started, and Hillsborough is Hillsborough is just Hillsborough. They're good every year. They're physical. They play great defense. It's a great program. Coach Rodvald has got those kids playing well every single year. They're never out of basketball games, and they're a team that you really don't like to play because they're so physical. And um, so um, so you know we have to you have to account for them also. And Carrington's got some nice, good shooting guards. You know they give us all they wanted in the regional tournament last year, and you know, and then you got two new ones coming in, and Harvey Wells, who I don't know a whole lot about, and Mayville Portland, who I don't know a whole lot about, and um, yet, but it'll be interesting that we have eight teams in our region this year again. So, um, but you know, I think Devil's Lake's got a leg up with Grafton right there, and we're not far behind.
Yeah, it's nice when you can have an even number of
Yeah,
teams, I think, because it buys usually don't usually go so well.
yeah.
Then one team won't be as ready. But in the statewide, Kindred and Beulah, you think are would be top two, maybe?
Yeah, Beulah's got a lot returning, plus the big kid from Stanley came back. He was there as a freshman, eighth grader and a freshman, and then transferred out to Stanley, and now he's back um, at Beulah again. So he's kind of growing up with those guards out there at Beulah. So and they were kind of missing a big guy, and they got the big guy in the middle now, and so they're gonna be hard to handle because again they got good guards. You know, the Sherrado boys are you can't find any better competitors than those two guys, and then when you add the big guy in there, it's tough to gonna be tough to defend. They had another eighth grade kid that played a lot, a bigger kid that played a lot last year, and so. Um, Kindred again, you know, hopefully the Starcific injury is not too serious. You know, hopefully he can get back on the basketball court and because he's just a tremendous athlete and only a junior and you know, anytime you can pair him with Baco, you know, Baco is just one of the you know one of the better players in the state of North Dakota. You know, and And they're always good. Central Cass is young and upcoming team. They got some young kids that play the game extremely, extremely hard, and they're going to be they're going to be a handful to a lot of teams that haven't quite seen them yet. And but we got a chance to see their young guys, and they're the real deal. And Wapaton's always coached by a great coach, and Coach Ralph down there, Shiloh's got a new coach. But I know Jordan from his days at Bismarck Century, and I know if he's been part of the Bismarck Century program for years, he's going to have that Shiloh program rolling. And I think a team that a lot of people haven't mentioned or haven't seen is the team from Dunseith, who doesn't have a senior on the team. And they got some good young guys that can shoot the basketball. They got a 6'9" kid on their team, and they got a lot of talent, and people are not looking at them at all. And I just I would not look past that team because they are very, very dangerous. And Belcourt had a great ending of the year. Botno had a great ending of the year. There's a lot of teams out there that Class A is going to be very, very competitive this year. And Dickinson Trinity, another team I'm forgetting. You can never forget Dickinson Trinity. You can never forget Greg Grinsteiner's program. Never. He's a machine, and he's got his teams ready to play. He's got them prepped, and um, you know, uh, that team is always very, very scary.
Yeah, guard play is always key when you gotta bring the ball up. You don't want someone very good. At Central Cass, I think they have good guard play too with those younger players, like you were saying. I think. Yeah. That's- Do you I think we're almost out of time, but um do you have any favorite Thanksgiving dish that you're gonna have for Thanksgiving?
There's a lot of favorites. Turkeys is you can't beat turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy. Oh yeah, so good. I could fill myself up on those three areas. I love corn. Um, Back when I was growing up, and when my mom and dad were alive, my mom and always had homemade baked beans. I don't know, it was just a family tradition that she made, and we would eat them in the morning, and we would eat them with our meal, and there was just nothing better than that. And I know my sisters can make them but I'm never around there anymore. So that I miss right now until I can get my girlfriend to make those the way that my mom used to make them. That was very special to our family, very traditional dish that our family. But turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy, and you put corn on there, I'm satisfied. Pumpkin pie, don't forget pumpkin pie.
Yeah. Got any questions you want to ask or
No, Ryan, I thank you for I thank you for the interview, and it's been a lot of fun, a lot of questions that I haven't answered before. I haven't even thought. I mean, I've thought about them, but I really like the questions about, the personal questions about, your likes and dislikes, and I thought that was pretty good. So I enjoy that. I'm glad we agreed on a few of our sports teams, and not all of them, but that's just the way it goes. Everybody's got different flavors, and that's just the way it is. But we're all competitors, and we all love to watch the sports, and I think that's what we'll continue to do, and so that makes your life enjoyable when you can watch sports and play sports and follow sports.
yeah, yeah. I just thought to get to know me a little bit because I'm a huge sports fan. So
Yeah,
I watch
absolutely.
tons of high school basketball, any basketball while we're
Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good. You have a knowledge of the game, which is always good. You can when you talk to people like that and they have a knowledge of that, they understand where you're coming from. So that's good.
Okay. Well, have a good Thanksgiving then.
You too, Ryan. You take care.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. Bye.